That's just a new pop-up I get.
Did you see? So like yesterday we finished right at 1:30 or whatever.
Yeah.
But then also the length of time the video was 2 hours even in 1 second.
I saw that. How good
I
were
was
we?
like, wow, there's some firsts.
Yeah, we're usually. I'm always. You got to usually you got to poke me and say, okay, move on. God, I was nonstop back and forth this morning, all morning with DM, so barely got any trades off. Well, I knew we were in trouble when the all the markets opened straight up. Never a good sign. Much rather have it open straight down. So, all right, here we go. There's Aram. How's it going? Morning. Morning where you are. Aram Kirkorian. Nice you have with us. Appreciate you joining us here. Oh, let's see. We got maybe 3-4 more. We'll get rolling here. We're a little late. I know. Shit. Hard to do it at the exact time every day. Voss M, how you doing, man? Thanks for joining us. What we got there? Let's try and get 3 more. We'll start it up since we are late. What did we do yesterday on? We usually have like.
Did you check that Luna chart yesterday when it was dropping?
I didn't. Did we do that yesterday?
No, it dropped after. Like I guess it had an absolute death candle.
Yeah. Fashraf sent me a note apparently about some sort of scammy action, and then they got hacked. Some shit happened there.
Well, no. So Do Kwon, I guess is his name, and he's the one that bought all that Bitcoin for the Terra Foundation, which is Luna, and he bought like billions worth, and he was buying $100 million a day for a while, and I guess they have a stable coin called UST, and it depegged from the dollar, went to 70 cents. Well, then everyone freaked out for Luna, and it went from, let's see, yesterday's candle was at 65 and it went to 25.
Well, here this was posted on Twitter this morning that it said an attacker OTC accumulated 1 billion of UST, borrowed 3 billion in Bitcoin, spread around some FUD about the peg and bank runs, dumped their 3 billion of Bitcoin on the market to trigger wide panic. Apparently worked. So that's floating around on Twitter. Somebody seems to think they know what happened. Anyway, that's the shit that happens, right? In young markets like this, there's manipulation it's gonna happen. Okay, so shit, we got 32. All right, sorry guys, we're late getting started here. We're just chatting. All right. Oh, we got someone from Taiwan. Oh man, I don't know how you guys read that. Cian Salazar, Liam Balmeras. How do you draw your Elliott channel without it looking like an expanding wedge? Okay, let me see if I can help you. My Elliott channel. Well, one thing that might Liam might be an issue is if log scale, right? So that's always going to tweak your drawing, right? So sometimes shit. Let's see. You're going to have to. How do you draw your? If you're talking about an Elliott channel, well, here we can use this chart. If you're talking about something like this, well, here. Fuck, come here. God, trading view. Something like this, right? Right. Well, now you got to. I'm assuming this is not what you're talking about. Yeah, I got to extend it that way. So there's traditional Elliott channeling. Well, Jesus, is it really? Not really, because your 4 is here, but that might be. So I'm not sure. So that is in log scale. The thing you can't do in log scale is you can't do a regression channel because it tweaks it. So Liam, I'm not sure what you mean. Like an expanding way. Oh, that's got to be.
I think it's the regression.
You've got to be talking about regression in log, right? Yes, there you go. See, there you go, Liam. Do you see how that looks like an expanding way? It's because it's in log scale. So when you're using the regression channel, that's what'll happen because it's expanding the lower numbers. That's why it looks like that. So you take it out of log scale, of course, right now but can you really analyze this out of log scale with that kind of range? You can't really. Believe me, it's a pain in the ass to do this analysis in log scale. Truly is. I'd much prefer to not be forced into log scale, but we have such extreme volatility. I mean, particularly in crypto, you're stuck with it. Right? It's a long time been a question mark. Man, is this algo firing in log scale? Right? And I'll be damned if it's not. Right? It's surprising, but it is. No one more surprised than me that it was triggering in log scale. So I think that's what you're talking about, Liam, is how it distorts it in and out of log scale. So with that, all right, let me get dialed in here so we get started here, because I remember way behind. Okay, so first up, you guys know the drill, right? So members give us the content. We kind of go through it together, and hopefully you'll maybe learn a thing or two along the way, or just some ideas, or may not be necessarily about the asset we're talking about. It could be just trading advice in general. Might be something that you pick up as a result of watching this. And of course, the other potential here is that something you hadn't seen sets up, fits your trading style. It might be an idea or something to be watching or get on a watch list looking, because often, and particularly right now, we're kind of at that point where so much is, it's too late to sell, but perhaps too soon to buy. So we're very much in a difficult spot, pretty much across all the markets. But here, so let's start with flux. I always want to say flux capacitor. I can't help it. Okay, so 1, 2, here's a clear impulse, right? There's a good example of the kind of things, right, that I talk about, where you want these to be self-contained, right? If they can all be, I don't want to make the 4 or 5, right? If this is all self-contained, I want it to be. So, what do we got here? So we're doing this. Oh, that's pretty sexy, James. We got a triangle there. So, let's see. How'd you do this? A, B. Yeah, I guess we're going to do the truncation there, right? Oh, shit. Oh, hang on one second, Monty. Entertain for 1 second. This is my daughter. She called me this. Give me 1 second. I'll be back in 2 seconds. Let me just tell her.
Okay, no worries. I'm not sure what I'll entertain you with, but since you can't see my chart. I guess I can tell a trading joke. Let's see.
Sorry, guys. That's my.
Hang on. I got a trading joke I was going to tell them.
Oh.
This is perfect for you. My stockbroker and I are working on a retirement plan. Unfortunately, it's his.
Yes. That is
you
so
make
true.
the money at all times.
So true. So true. So true. All right. I'm back. I apologize, guys. It's my daughter. She called the exact same time yesterday, so I'm just making sure everything was all right. It's my 24-year-old daughter. Okay. So where are we here? All right. I got to regroup here. So, okay. So we've got, oh man, you got all the levels here. Well, actually, I kind of like that. So this is James M's work here. So look how he's got every single, I like that. 23, 38, 50, golden zone, 707, 786, 886, 90, right, for flats. And the one, that's getting the full boat. I like to keep multiples. So I'll have one that's full, then I have one that's just measured move, one with no targets, one that would be just level 4. So that you're not, because sometimes it's like, fuck, that's a lot of lines. Like you kind of get lost. So but I like what you've done here, just as a good example to you guys that are, still learning this stuff. Okay, so is there anything confusing here, right? Pretty much there's your impulse. We're correcting in a 3. All right, wouldn't that be what you'd think here? So does that look like we're done? Excuse me. Well, let's see. Let's take it out of log, just out of curiosity. Okay, so we're seeing, clearly this was just big consolidation. Okay, there's the drop out of it. Let's go back to log here. You guys kind of see the same thing. Sideways, sideways, sideways. There's the break. Now, it's good to do. You see, I do this a lot, right? So hopefully you guys kind of look at that and you do the same thing, right? Say, okay, what are we doing up here? All right, what are we doing here? We're kind of stuck in a box. And then you're just doing the same thing over here. You're just changing the level of it. So you could almost, you could look at this as like, okay, here's the first box. All right, we're stalling up here. Now, okay, you can almost feel it getting weaker. Now, we know we've just completed an impulse here. You're anticipating, you know, some sort of a correction, right? That's just the ebb and flow of the market. That's not, there's no rocket science being revealed here. It's just how the market moves, right? We swing, we retrace. We swing, we retrace. That's it. That's all the market ever does. It's all it can do. Okay, so as we look here, does that look like the kind of thing you'd want to buy? Well, remember, an algo target is not a buy signal or any sort of a signal other than we identify it as an algo by the reaction there. So did we have a reaction there? Right? Is that a reaction? So what's happening there, right? It's an algo taking profit, right? So, I mean, it's not, the one thing I promise you, it's not random. Right? There are no random pivots. So as we look here, okay, could this be the 2? Well, yeah, right. On paper, that could be the 2. Do you have the kind of subdivision you'd like to see there? Well, not quite yet, but let's go down to a smaller time frame. Maybe you got something there, right? So, I mean, one thing you'll find is I'm going to tell you the same thing every time, right? Because that's the power of consistency. All right, you start fucking around and changing it around like, oh, shit, man, I lost on that last trade. Well, then I'm abandoning that. Now, does that look like enough to get started here? Yeah, almost. It looks like you had a 3, 4, 5, right? So maybe if you came down in a 3, that might be interesting. But I don't know that we have enough there to say, do I have that? So, I mean, this is the conundrum of trading, right? I was kind of going off on this yesterday, right? So we do this. Now, as it comes down, as it's coming down, there's only one question we're asking ourselves. Are we retracing here and then going higher to get a higher high, or are we just retracing here, and this is all just the same thing happening on the other side, right? So it's all the market ever does. It's all it can do. Now, right, which side wins here? Well, how do we know? Well, we're never going to know, emphasis no, but we can predict based on, okay, well, what happens when we get right here? Do I want that trade, or do I want it right here? Is this it right here? Oh, I got a little pop here. Well, okay, well, so what would you lean into here? I would almost take that wick as fucking it up, right? So does that look like, oh, I got an impulse here? I mean, I'm down to a 15. These wicks, that's just volatility. That's just market manipulation, what I would assume there. So is that enough to start? Is that 1, 2, 3, 4, 5? Well, it would have to look a whole lot better to me. Oh, what did we get there? The 38? And we got all of them. I think that's the 38. Looks like you got a 5 there, so let's label that up, right? I'm kind of surprised James didn't do this. All right. 3, 4, 5 into the C. Oh, I got the little baby ones on. That's a pretty nice looking impulse. Why would you not call that? I mean, classic, here's the impulse, ABC in the 2. Here, like shit, it looks like a triangle actually in the 4. Okay, well, maybe, right? But what's happening here is I would not take it yet. Well, okay, so what? For the first question you got to ask yourself, why did it stop there? What did it run into? Right, that's always the first question. Why does it stop here? Right, why? Right, they're just okay. Approach the market with this. This will help you. You may not agree, but it just work with me here. If we assume there are no random pivots, then the next question is, well, why does it stop there? Well, so the next thing you're going to do is say, well, gee, was it an algorithm? I mean, that's what I do every single time. That's okay. Why there? Is there a 5 there? And why does it stop there? Well, it looks like clearly you've got some resistance here. Okay, so now the decision matrix starts. Well, I've got a candidate here for this to be done. Let's take that up a degree. I got a candidate, maybe done. Does that look like a 1? So then it's a question of, well, how critical are you with your setups? What can we see here, right? This is all wick down here, right? So that's a clear rejection. Would you want it here? That's what you're asking yourself. Would I want it? Yeah, I've got that thing. Well, that's all right. We'll leave it that way. So as I come back down to this one, right, where I'm hitting all wick, do I want it here? Well, maybe if you got it in, just like you'd like in a nice 3 coming right into that, okay, maybe. I sure as, so you'd be making the assumption that there's some sort of little 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 in there. All right. Are you willing to, make that assumption? And maybe if I go down to a 3 minute, I can find a little baby 1, 2 in there. Given the general malaise across the market, I'm not sure that would be enough there, right? Because this is too iffy. I could just keep rolling. Oh shit! What did we do here on your? I can't see him. I want to say that's the 38. Yes. Oh, so we've just made the 38 for a 2. Okay, it's not like it's never happened before. I would need more. I would need more in that pivot. So, right. So then the next. Okay. I'm guessing there's not going to be anything because James would have found it if there was. Right. So I would look for geometry. Not bad. Let's get it tight, right? These have to be right on. Interesting. James, did you miss that one? I think you missed that one. Look at that. So let me get this off of here. Now, I can tease James just because he's been a member for a long time, and he loves the puzzle as much as I do. So I'm fucking this up here. Let me get this. All right, there we go. That's how I normally have it, I think. Okay, so this one, let's get you off of there. Okay, is that good enough? Well, that now is all getting more interesting. I mean, not to be a snot about it, but there's your 80%. Right? I mean, there's never been a video I did where I didn't show that. Not one. Right? It's all right. So, what is it? Right? It's a corner pocket. Right? You got your target and your median line, and that's a 50. Pretty sure that's your 50. Isn't that your 50? Oh, all right. It's in between. Well, unless they used a secondary pivot, which they might have. Right? They did. Okay, so there's your golden corner pocket, right? That's a Trade Devils original. Anyone who's using any language suggesting any kind of a pocket or bullshit, that's entirely ripped off from me. Not that, fuck, what as they say, right? What's the best kind of compliment, right? Imitation. Excuse me, swallowed the wrong way. Again, I don't mind if they use it, but it'd be nice if they credit it. Just as I always credit David Halsey, right? He's the one who taught this to me, right? I added the 65 and the median lines. Shit, hang on. All right, so golden corner hits, right, to the tick. Again, do you want to buy that? To me, I'd want to see a much better looking 5 come out of here and then come down into 3 before I'd want to put money at risk. It's just not good enough. Why force it? So now here you kind of see it as well. So you see, okay, so here's this range that we're in. Here's the break. Let me point this out because I make a point of saying don't ever do this here, but here's a breakout that worked for you, right? I mean, some of them are going to work, right? They have to, right? Some of them are going to work. What would make you more confident? Really what I'm saying when I say that is this is not the place to enter. Right? You got away with it here. The place to enter was right here. Right now when it gets down, well, shit, you'd have been likely that would have any sort of trailing stop would have taken, well, hey, welcome to trading. That would have taken out any trailer unless you left your stop at entry. Did you eventually get there? Yeah, but that likely would have stopped anyone who had a trailing stop out. My view, that's a green banana. Like, I like the look of it. I like all the TA. We know it's technical. We know the algos are in here. So what's not to like? Well, if we're going to put this as the 2, okay, I'm a little, I'd like to see it a little deeper, right? Ideally, right? If you can get it deeper, ideally you would. Could we get, is there something? Well, I suppose there's a possibility for a zigzag in here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So it looks like we could do 5, 3, and then you'd be looking for 5. So my thought is that he's wanting to finish it here. So he's going into it through the ABC, right? And he may be right. That may be what's there. But if it could go, you could see the potential for this to go. Damn it. So sorry. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, right? You might get something like that, right? I'm assuming this is the 3 and the 4 is over here. Maybe this takes a little more time, right? Then it's going to have better. Oh, we're in log scale, right? So here's that log scale dilemma, right? So something like that would bring it down here. Now you get closer to, okay, well this would be closer to where you'd anticipate that wave 2. So now if we get down here, this is going to start to look a little more interesting to me. Not that it's not worth a trade here, but I wouldn't go heavy there. I mean, shit, you're getting a bounce off of it, off of the. Well, we just showed you the hitting the median lines. So one for the watch list, I would leave it right like this, right? It just okay. Now if we retrace here, so what's the big hurdle? When it retraces, right? You know there's going to be resistance there. Right, so can they keep it down, right, and finish that pattern? If they get down here, well then, right, you're waiting for that. Right now, there's the 3, 4, and then off we go. Right, so we got a better 2 down here. So I like it. This would be on my watch list. It's not a pretty count. I don't know. I think you did a pretty good job with this count actually. This very sexy to get that triangle. Right, you're kind of stuck with it. Right, A, B, C, D, E. Nice work up into that 5. But you can see it, right? You could do the 5 down here. 5, 3. You wouldn't be done, right? It would roll over one more time. Okay, nice. Thanks for posting that, James M. I'm shocked you missed that corner pocket. Shocked. But I'm teasing. Okay, Link, bottom left. Good God, what has happened to Link? Let's take a look. Former high flyer was going to change the world. What happened to Link? Bottom left. Oh shit! I gotta make a copy. Hang on. Bottom left. All right. Well, I've got to imagine a lot of people are following this coin. Notice James loves channels. He's very consistent with them, right? So you almost will always have one coming down, one going up, and looking for those moments of intersection. Right, same kind of consistency that you see from Grant F with his harmonics. It's James very consistent. So what we got there? So we've just done. Well, there's another measured move here. I'm taking that off. So it looks like, what are you doing here? You're doing. Oh, what the hell are you doing there? Oh, you're doing a. I see what you're doing. Okay, so I'm looking at it this way, going, what just happened there? Okay, so there's breaks. Is that wicks or do we get a close? I think we got a close. Yeah, it looks like there's. Jesus. Yeah, there's one close through, right? So that's a good break. That's likely. I think, is that your 707? Yeah, probably your 707. All right, so what could this be? Well, are we in agreement here that we topped here? I think probably so. Well, this is more likely some sort of combo because it would. That's a 3, so you'd already be thinking 1, 2, or Jesus, what are we doing with that? Hang on. Oh, what are you thinking here, James? That we got that this is the 2. All right, so a lot of alts now rolling over into from 4s to 2s. WX. You got more than you want here. So maybe you do have to trade this as a diag. And so if we work backwards, let's work backwards. 1, 2, 3, 4. Can we do a 5? Maybe you can. 5, 3, 5, 3, 5. Although that looks like ABC, ABC. There's a little 1, 2 in there. So that could roll as a 5. You'd need a 5 in here. Oh, you can probably get it. That's an 8-hour. You can probably get a 5 into that with this being the 5th. So you got to work that as a diag. Well, let's just check a couple of things, right? So we want to be sure. Now we are in log scale. So we're good. All right, 3 longer than 1, and looks like 5 longer than 3. Looks like it. Nope, not yet. So that would be ideal if we come a little bit lower. Here's where a channel is going to be a little tricky, but you've got nice geometry there. All right, so we're getting 1, 2, 3, 4 hits, right? Now you'd want that ideally come a little bit lower, right? If you're a purist, right, you're going to wait for that to come a little bit lower. They could front run it. Well, so essentially what he's looking at here is just showing us, okay, we completed an impulse, and while there's complexity to it, we're just doing a big 3 here. Oh, because I can't resist. I got to do this. I can't resist. All right, now, as its corrective, I'd check the shift. Let's get this out of here. There's his channel right there, that channel. So this is, well, I would call that an area of interest. Is there something else there? Well, I know it's getting pretty crowded in there, but I would want to see this. So right to the 50. Holy shit, that's getting crowded. Okay, let's get that one off. Let's get, this is hit. That's the one I just drew for the 100. There's first target. Second target is down here at this. There's second target. What is that? Oh, that's the other one. Okay, so is this A, B, C? Well, why not? Why not? Why can we simplify that into the 2? Shit. 12. So I'm just pulling out to look left. Was there anything here to pay attention to?
You there?
Yeah, I'm there. Sorry. Boy, it's hard not to like that. All right, so here's the demand zone. It's been tapped twice, which is okay. You want to see it come out of there fast. We're just looking at this. All right, so let's see if we can put something together. All right, what do we got there? There's nothing else but this, right? None of these would be any good. It's too far. So if it's not here, you're right in the pocket, right? So you're in between the 50 and the golden zone. You got anything below? Okay, so we're getting a little hot on the RSI. That's, of course, it can stay there. No real signs of divergence, so you don't really have your classic lack of momentum coming into that low. So there's no reason to try and pick the turn here just yet. Now you got a little reaction, but it's just not enough, right? How would you know, right? It's always the question, right? If we come up here, how do you know you're not going to just roll over, right? You don't, right? So until you got to see that's the benefit of waiting for the change of character. Okay, did I get a change of character here? No. At least not on a 12-hour, right? There might be, here you'd have to break one of these lows. Ideally, you'd break that. Then you get to break a structure. Okay, well, so can I get a higher low? Okay, I got a higher low. Can I get a higher high? Okay, well, now you're sitting there and you're going, oh, fuck, I missed the thing. I missed it. Did you? If that's going to be a trend change, we're looking for a 5, right? Right. So did you miss it? Well, you missed that part of it. Okay, now, all right, here, this is, welcome to trading. This is what we all have to deal with. Okay, so let's say we get here. What are you thinking now? Well, now you're going to have a whole lot of more conviction because I have the 5 to lean into. When I'm right here, how do I know it's not just going to do that, right? It's just another 3. It's going to roll over, right? You don't know. So these are high risk trades. There would have to be, oh, fine. And you might have it actually here. You would need to see a really pretty 5 come down here. Fuck, it looks like you do have it come to actually. All right, so, maybe this is a trade you want. Well, let's get you a different color. All right, so putting the pieces together. Okay, I got a nice 5 coming down here. Do I have a nice 5 here? Not yet. But see now, so even let's say it does something like, fuck, man, I could have bought it down here at $7.90, and we're all up to $14. So did you miss it? I'm not so sure that that's the way to think of it, or other than, oh, I just got confirmation about that low. Now I got a good low that I can work with. So it really almost doesn't matter how far that goes. At some point, the people that caught the turn, the temptation to take profit will be too much, right? Or there'll be a little reaction. They'll freak, right? The trailing stops get hit. Oh, and then they think, oh, we can go again. We can get it higher. Now, if it can't get the pivot, then right now you're ready to go again. Oh, I got the 5. I got the 3. I'm at a demand zone. Okay, now I can go with a little conviction, and my risk reward is so much better. I teach this every day. Right? It's the same thing day after day after day, right? It's not rocket science. It's just not. Okay, I got. So if I get that, okay, what am I thinking? Oh shit, I might have a 1 there. What's the wave if I can get in that I want? Can I get into a third? You want to be a purple belt? Well, that's your only choice. 3s and C's. Right now, that's the 3 of the potential 1. How's the risk reward there? This is the name of the game, right? So this is really what you need to focus on. Everything else, that's the fun part. Right? If you like solving puzzles, right, that's what you're doing. You're just solving a puzzle. Here are the pieces. Can you solve the puzzle with these pieces? Okay, that's where analysis, let me rephrase that. This is where analysis ends and trading begins. 2 different skill sets. Analysis, lots of people can do this. Trading, all of a sudden, money gets involved, emotion gets involved, fear and greed get involved. Now, all of this seems to go out the window. Now it's like, oh, fuck. Oh shit, what do I do? Oh, fuck, I don't know. Right? It's almost like monkey brain takes over, and all the work that you did here to put that together flies out the window. Now you're just in this emotion, right? So, I don't want to lose any money. Fuck, I'm up. Maybe it'll go higher, right? That's what you're dealing with, right? All of us, same shit, all of us. I'm not immune to it. I've been doing this for almost 30 years. I'm still, right? The rush comes when you get into the trade. Right, and the disappointment comes when I get stopped out. Right, 30 years later, same emotion. So how do you deal with that? Right. Well, so you can't forget about all the work that you put in to get conviction in that pivot. If it doesn't work out, okay, what did you lose? Now, how do you fuck yourself? You do that. Well, I'll give it a little more room, right? You've heard me do that routine 1,000 times. I didn't want to get stopped out, man. I knew it was going to go higher, so I was giving it lots of room. That's how people blow up accounts. You did this over and over and over again, you can take a lot of hits, right? It just takes one. Then, right, here's the ongoing problem. Oh, shit, man, I've lost 4 in a row. So you get up 1-to-1 and you pounce on it because, oh, fuck, I just needed it. I needed to feel like I had a winner. And I guarantee you do that, this is the one that goes, right? Because that's a mistake, right? The market will always, forever punish mistakes, right? It's probably, there's nothing else like it that I've ever experienced. You make a mistake, market will punish you. If you get away with it the first time, it'll punish you twice as hard because you'll do it again. And then it'll really punish you, right? The market is a very expensive master, right? Yeah, as I say many, many times. The only reason I can speak with conviction is because I've made all of these mistakes. There is no mistake that I have not made. None. So I know, I speak from experience, not from my genius. Fuck, all this shit was taught to me. I'm just so stubborn, I refuse to leave. Okay, it's just like selling the lows. Right? Okay, yeah, sometimes they're going to get away. They're going to run. But if you do that 10 times, you will not come out ahead. All right, I got a little rant there. So chain link, is there anything to do in chain link here? Not yet, as far as I'm concerned. Okay, good start. I've got a pivot that's got my interest, but a whole lot more has to happen here before I can set that up. Right? Because that would be a requirement for me to take a trade, rather than just go, fuck, let's throw one in there and see what happens. Right? That's a recipe for getting spanked, right? Because that's a mistake, and the market always punishes mistakes. All right. What else we got? Why is it just me? God, it must be me. It's fucking hot in my office. All right, I'm back. Okay, so where are we? Off on a rant. I lost my place here. Okay, so I got 10 of discs giving me an ES count. I like. Watch list for chain link. All right, I wish lots. Don't misunderstand. Like, I would love to tell you when we're doing one of these. Okay, buy it now. I'd love to do that, right? If I ever see that, right, when they're right there, I'll tell you that. But here, get it on your watch list. 10 of discs. We're looking at the ES. Well, let's look at the ES, right? Because it was. Oh, I turn over my shoulder. No, it doesn't look like it's doing much good today. All right, let's see. Oh, it's beautiful. 10 of discs, got some sonar on here, so we see all the demand. Oh, let's see. I'm not sure if it's sonar or if you just got there. Oh, yeah, you do. You have their SMC. Good man. Okay, so let's pick it apart with a little combo of market structure. Well, let me copy it first. A little combo of market structure and see how the Elliott Wave fits in, because the Elliott Wave fits in. If any of you watched the videos I did, I just showed you how you're already doing this. You just didn't realize you were doing it. There's nothing new under the sun in the markets, right? It's all just repackaging. Okay, well, this is pretty sexy. So I got a, is this a, it looks like it's a fib channel with 50s and 75s. I like that, right? Good looking for geometry, right? So what is he doing here? He's looking for confluence. All right, so what do we get here? So I've got multiple demand zones here. I prefer that language. Demand zone. Okay, so how are you getting there? You're going to go, are you doing, let's see. Yeah, that is the question, right? So it's hard to read this off the COVID low. I mean, if you're just applying Elliott Wave here, because you have these long extended runs where there's not great, the subdivision is a bit of a guesstimate. So just looking at that, it's the same problem we had with very much with Bitcoin. Where's the 2? 4, no problem. 2 compared to the 4, getting to be a little problematic, right? So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, you can see that one, but this is the 2. Well, so then you kind of talk yourself into it. Well, with all the fucking free money from the Fed, you can understand why we didn't get a deeper retracement, right? So you kind of talk yourself into the 3. So now it's a question mark here. So we look here and you go, fuck, the market's melting down. Rates are going up, that, we must have topped already, so I can't buy it there. As soon as you start thinking that, start looking for a long. Right, because that's what the rest of the planet is thinking. Right? If everybody's thinking the same thing, right? It's not how the markets work, right? It's when everybody's thinking the same thing, right? That you're absolutely can be sure of the fact that something else will happen, right? It's just not how the markets work. So I think I had this. I like what you're doing here. So I think I had this as a WXY, but this works just as well. So here's what he's saying. Did the 5 come in? Did we truncate here? Is this a big enough shock to the market that we're going to break what would be the more traditional Elliott pattern here? Just out of curiosity, I know we're here in log scale, but how did we do in the 1 if that's the 2, right? So now you got to go, oh fuck, right? Of course, out of log scale, right? We're plenty clear. But for the rip, is that? Yes, for the COVID low into the top, we're gonna only do even outside of logs here. We're gonna do just beyond the 100. See, if we'd had a deeper 2, right? That's where it's more traditional. Oh, if it had a more traditional 2 to a golden zone, now I'm at a 1618, right? But to do it here, it makes you ponder. Really, that's all we're gonna get there. Out of this, right, the most extreme Fed influence on the market in history, and I'm only going to get 100%? So then you start thinking, well, okay, maybe it's here. Maybe we did top. Right? That's not unreasonable. Okay, so what are we doing? All right, we're looking for a 2. I mean, I no doubt you could count this that way. Fuck, you little squish here and there, you can probably get that to work just fine. Here's a classic 4. Well, it's a 4 on the subdivision. So are we done here? Well, I don't know that we're going to have an answer until we see, until we start to get some, well, to one degree, how far do we go? Right? This is a lot of support. You can see it over here. So this is Apple's still going to sell iPhones, right? So, I mean, okay, right? Are we melting down? It's not insignificant. I think the other thing that was here, right? So what is a trader to do? All right, so exactly what 10 of discs is doing here, he's building a case, right? It's often, I think it's good to think, right? Could you present this to a room of investors? Could you present a case to make that trade? Well, Your Honor, if I'd like to propose that there's enough evidence to suggest here that the jury of my peers would suggest that that's a buy. Now, let me walk you through all the evidence. That's really the way to think of it. Right? Would I don't know if you need 12, but would 5 out of 5 traders see the same opportunity? Well, let's just look in there. Right? Sure looks like you got a lot of the ingredients there. What's the one thing we know we have to look for? We got to finish with a 5. Right? We know that. Right, especially something like the S&P, right? Oh, geez, do I have a 5 here? If only I had a 5 here. Oh, shit, I do have a 5 here. Okay, well, is that enough by itself, right? Is there enough subdivision here? Well, I'd want to dig into that, right? If I can, right? Sometimes, you know, it's enough right there. But given the, you know, it's so much of this is weak. It's the market's just reacting, right? It's the uncertainty. What the fuck is going on in Ukraine? What the fuck is going on with crude? What's going on with Russia? What's going on in the market? What's going on with interest rates? Right? That uncertainty means fuck it, sell everything, right? And then you've got forced liquidations happening as well, right, across traditional spaces. So they're dumping crypto or risk assets because they need to cover margin calls or liquidation issues. I mean, all of that's going on. So how do you know when the time to buy is? Well, first, number one, don't try and pick the low. That's a fool's errand. There's no reason ever to do that, ever. Right? Other than you want to post it on Twitter and show everybody how smart you are. That's the only reason to ever do that. It's just a losing proposition, right? So let it come down here and let the first wave go. It'll come back, right? It always does. It always does. Let the first one go. Okay, what else is here? Is there anything technical that I can lean on? Okay, how about the 2 through the 3 to the 4? Oh. Now, we don't have to say anything as stupid as wonder if the algos are in here, do we? Right? That's up, right? We don't have to say that, do we? Do we? Oh God! I mean, in the S&P, it's all day long, right? From one time frame to the next, right? I mean, it's just over and over and over. It's nothing but measure moves, right? I can show you the 1 minute. There's sometimes 15 in a day. It's just nonstop measure moves. So this is all. This is. I can show it 1,000 times and people still like, well, okay, it worked then, but it's not going to work in my trade. Did we just hit that algo target to the tick? Pretty damn close. A little front run. How much did we get off of that front run? Just out of curiosity. How far did that go? 113.50. It's not a bad bounce. Okay, is that enough to take the trade? Well, maybe not, right? So we know it's, you know, it's just the algo firing here, nonstop, right? One after the next. So how do you know when it ends? Oh God, I had a good example. I was talking to another guy, maybe doing some work together. This is a good example here. We're talking about maybe doing some coding of this and turning it into an indicator. And so I said to him, so I'm showing him this, right? I'm showing him in crypto. I said, pick any stock, anything that you like or have traded. And he said, AMC. I said, okay, well, let's bring it up. Okay, so here's the measured moves in AMC on the way down. But the reason I'm bringing this up is to show you when it stops, right? So here's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, right? 5 in a row as it's coming down, right? But here's the last one, right? But they don't make target, right? There's target down here. Failed to reach target. What does that mean? When it comes back here, trend change. So just here it is, guys, in living color. Swing up, where do we come back to? The 50. All right, you see all the structure here. Right, that's now where's the target? So that's what happens, right? You trade, and this is the same way for you to approach it. You trade them just as they do until they fail. Trend change. Now, over here, same idea. Okay, has it failed yet? No. So why would you assume anything other than this to keep coming down, right? You can't. You would assume that would be the safer assumption. Well, then you start saying, well, wait a minute. I got a perfect Elliott wave correction here that could be going in. Okay, well then, if you're going to lean into that, you're going to at least want to get the algo on board right here, because otherwise, right back to where I started. How would you know that it's not just going to do that? How would you know? Well, you don't know. So how do we make a trade there? Well, do we have to wait for this, right? Do we have to wait for all of this? And fuck, you just left 200 points on the table? No, but if you're going to take it here, right, you got to accept the risk. So why would you even think about accepting the risk there? Because of the context. Because, oh shit, if I put some Elliott Wave on here and I apply my tools and all the shit that I know and I'm looking at demand zones and there's a measured move and I got an A, B, C, oh, well, that would attract my interest. So maybe I'll wait and let this thing pop and get up into this demand zone, see how it deals with it. Because sure as hell, the algo is going to be sitting there waiting for him, right? That'll be sitting there waiting for it. Oh, come please. Yeah, come please retrace, right? Where are they trying to get? Right there. It will continue to do this until it breaks. Then when it breaks, right, where's the trade? You want to, especially with something like the S&P, you want this algo, you want to tuck in behind it, let it grab the machete and clear the forest. You're just trying to tuck in behind it, right? Because it's going to do the heavy work. You just want to get in here, right? So now again, same problem. When I get right here, how the fuck do I know that that's not just going to do that? You don't know. You don't know, other than the context. What was in that? What's in this? Otherwise, you might as well just fucking flip a coin. Oh, okay, maybe if I go down to a lower time frame, maybe there's a demand zone that right there that I could lean into. Because otherwise, you have no way of knowing. It's just a guess. Well, maybe it'll be this one. Maybe it'll be that one. I don't know. Right, so if you get a 3 here, oh, right there, oh shit, how would I know? Oh, maybe it's just a measured move in the ABC. Like very common. Incredibly common, right? You see it in the ABC. Oh, boom. Okay. Well, did I get a 5 here? Otherwise, you could flip a coin. Heads I buy, tails I sell. Oh, I got a 5 and now I got a 3, and I see an algo complete, and maybe I'm at a 50. Oh, holy shit! Wait, I'm not done yet, right? Because when I say me, I mean you as the trader are not done yet. What do I have there? Golden corner. Okay, so now I'm in line, right? So I've had a change of character here, assuming that was legit here. I just kind of randomly drew that, but I broke this pivot. So that's a break of structure. Now here's the change of character into a golden zone. What do I know? I got 80% odds of getting there. Now I got to clear this supply zone to get there, right? But I got to clear this one too, right? If we're going down, we got to clear these, right? There's always going to be resistance you got to get through, right? But I'll take the 80% odds any day. That's all we get, right? And even with that, right? The only thing that saves you and gives you longevity here is that you're not doing fucking stupid shit like giving this thing way too much room. You can't do that. You can't do that. That you're just asking for your account to be blown up. It's just only a matter of how long it's going to take. Right? You got to say, okay, I'll take the jab, right? I like the boxing analogy. You can jab me all day long, but what you cannot do is hit me under the chin, because now I'm going down. So here, little baby one. I don't know if that's going to hold, right? Theoretically, we get here. I have fucking no idea if that's going to hold. But I'm willing to take the calculated risk because of everything that I see here and everything that I see on this 5, in this 5, and in this 3. Now, I've got all of the ingredients here, right? If you're baking a cake, well, back to my analogy here. Okay, Your Honor, I'd like to present my case. Now, will 5 out of 5 traders see the same opportunity there? Will they? Right? That because you got to, first person you have to convince is yourself, right? And you got to be hard on yourself, because you got one thing you want to be careful of is just trading for the action. Because I made a living doing that, right? Providing the action to people. That was my job. You've heard me say this many times before, right? When I was a broker, my job was adult entertainment, right? It was not to make money. That's not what people really wanted. I mean, they'd tell you they wanted that, but what they wanted was an endorphin rush. A little dopamine hit, which we all experience second you buy the market or sell the market. A dopamine hit. Build a case. Present your case. Accept the outcome. Don't, oh, fuck, I'm going to give it more room. Right now, there's the mistake. Right? It will be punished. That's good work in here, Ten of Discs. I like everything you put together, but I would say, okay, like top of the watch list. Right, because there's a very real pattern here that could be completing, right? But I mean, you nailed the Elliott, right? It's beautiful, right? Come down in a 5. Now, this is what's missing. All right, I got long-winded there. So I see Tarmo Milman. Let's look at mana. Sure. has the most history. Okay, did I say that right? Tarmo? This, I love your count. I love the way you combine the two. Really, really nice work, Tenedis. Thanks for offering that to us. Gives me something to riff on. Okay, so I'm doing, well, I guess I can just do it here, right? I guess, fuck, I want to keep that. That's all right. I'll recreate it. Let me go back here and do, does this work? I don't think it works if I'm on a copy. I think I have to do it here. So I'm going to do mana on USD, mana USD on trading view. This is the one. Is that what you mean? Yeah, it's got to be it. Okay. So you're long? Modern Picasso. I'm anticipating this is the first leg of the correction IW of an XY, something of that fashion. Well, you might be right. Modern Picasso, I haven't seen you in a while. All right, glad to see you. Okay. All right, I got Prism bought in. All right, yeah, don't we all like our dopamine? Okay, what are we doing here? Did you give me a time frame that you wanted? Probably not. Okay, so here we've got, oh shit, did I put that? I guess that's left over from the other one. Okay, so we can see demand, supply and demand zones here. Well, here's the strong low. Why is that the strong low? Because this is the last low that gave us a high. All right, so this is change of character all the way down. God, that's an ugly retrace, isn't it? This is worthless when we're in log scale. It's one of the part of the hassle of log scale, right? So the only thing you got to try and do it with this thing a little bit, can make it a little better. So here's the POC of this range here. So at this cluster, which is not surprising. So as a potential demand zone. Okay, let's look at it, right? So you just looking at it here, we can see from here, this pivot, you would have broken the golden zone, right? So now I start looking, where are the obvious pivots? So I would start checking. Let's see, are we technical here? Well, that's a wick break, right? Remember, it's got to close. You got to have a close below for it to invalidate. There's no close, right? And it gets first end, man, it's probably a front run target on the second target, right? So I would look here since they used it. Okay, that's interesting. Looks like you're going to be in the pocket there. So here's, okay, back to building a case. All right, so do you see the confluence here? That's kind of an example of what I'm talking about. Okay, so can I build a case here for a long? All right, well, let's zoom in there a little bit more. Right, so I've got a good foundation. Okay, I promise you that reaction there is not random. Looks like, oh, fuck, but I throw up enough lines, right? Something's going to hit somewhere. No, I'd like to think we're past that. Well, let's not forget that there's always an algo on the other side. So these guys got it. Looks like it might have been here as well. So swing golden zone to the tick, right? So why do I do that? So it looks like I'm being a little bit random there, right? So why choose this one? Because I'm just eyeballing that. It looks like this may well have been used as well. It was, right? So since they used it, right? We want to continue to look for pivots that we know the algorithm used. Now, how do I know it used it? Well, fuck, it's right in your face. That's how, right? Look at the reaction, right? Reaction there. So here's golden zone, right? So it goes over and over and over again. Here's the next golden zone, right? It just keeps going until it breaks. Okay, let's pull back. All right, so since they use that one, I'll use this one right to the golden zone. Here's the target. That's likely the front run on the target, on the first target. Whoops. Likely the front run on the first target. Now we're into the next golden zone. Do you see how that works? Hang on. Let's see if I have any geometry to assist in building the case here. Well, that's too far, and since it's correct, see, this is going to be too much, right? So I can look at it. So I got to put a runner on that. So let's, maybe a 25 is all you need here. 1.25 ought to do it. All right, so you got a little runner here. So I'm in the pocket. Remember, in a correction, we want to go to the shift first, right? See, right, you don't want a correction that uses original because it's going to be too deep, right? That's going to tell you, well, it's going to be too deep. If I'm here in a correction, I don't want that correction coming down here. assuming you're bullish, right? That's why you want to go to shift on a correction, because I'm looking for a more shallow correction. Okay, can I simplify this thing? Is this a simple, just, okay, there's going to be complexity, but there's a big 3. And it's a golden corner, by the way. Complicated? Not really. Not really. It's just knowing what to look for. I know, right? So sometimes you're like, fuck, the guy goes so fast. I don't know, how are you using that pivot? Why? I get a lot of those comments, right? So a lot of it just comes with time. But really, every pivot's a candidate. Fuck, there's probably another one right here. Right? You get to a point where you just see them all over the place, right? There's another one, right? There's the target. There's probably another one here. They just keep going over and over again, right? There's the 50 to the golden zone. That got third target. Right, just nonstop. This is all the market ever does, right? With algo ping pong, right? Just one to the next, one to the next, one to the next. So is there an opportunity to be a long here? Well, okay, let's get all that shit off. What would you be thinking there? Is the Elliott count accommodating to a long? Well, was that it? Sometimes the Elliott count is not helping. Let's keep it simple, right? Big picture. We don't need to complicate it. Okay, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, right? Is anybody going to disagree with that? Is that the most perfect impulsive one? No, but all right. Basic gist of it. There's a 5. Well, I'm doing a 3. Well, let's take it out of log scale, just out of curiosity, right? So you see, okay, well, I can't look at this in anything but log. Yes, it's a pain in the ass. It is. All right, well, we just did all that TA, right? So is the algo responsive in log? Yeah, we don't need to wonder about that anymore, right? We know it is. Okay, so can I look here? So now just like we were doing before. Okay, can I build a case here, Your Honor? Well, I kind of am drawn to the fact that I've got a demand zone down here and a strong low right next to it, so I wouldn't mind seeing that come down. So is there enough there to say, oh, I want to be a buyer? Well, okay, a couple things. Right now, I know this is the conundrum of log scale, right? So here's the demand zone at the 50. If we're going to come down, what would you call this? WXY looks like it. You'd probably think WXY coming down there. Okay, we're going to pivot. Oh, shit, I'll get the wrong one on there. We're going to pivot on. We're going to pivot at the 38. We're through the 23. Wouldn't be crazy. This is talk about a project with a lot of long-term potential. Could it be we're going to be that shallow on the retrace? Sure looks like you finished with a nice 5 here. Let's label it up, right? So you get, again, building a case. Okay, so just as you go through it, okay, what do I see? Where are the 5s? Where are the 3s? Well, okay, that's a 3. That's a 5. That's a 5. What's next? Well, okay, you could sure look in here and go, well, that's a whole lot of congestion, right? I mean, we drew the volume profile here, so you know the POC is in here. I'd like to see that come down a little further. I'd feel better about the trade. Oh, shit, we don't have anything below. I'd like to see that come down. Let's see. So can we get that thing, so we don't want to miss one if it's right there in the pocket. Does it look like we got done? Well, it looks like maybe. Oh, I don't think you're going to get a 5 out of that unless you're truncating, but you might have to. That might be because this is all wick. You get a diag out of there? It looks like you might. A, B, C. Right? If we're doing it as a WXY, that's kind of what you're looking for. So if this is the B, 1, 2, 3, 4. That's not much of a 2, but let's label it up, right? You gotta put these somewhere. It might be A, expand the B, 2, 3. That's clearly the 4. Okay, we done. Well, okay, same process over and over again. Always the same. Okay. Kind of interesting, right? Okay, we didn't quite get to the 100, right? So a little front run on it. Okay, well, what do we need to have happen here? Well, okay, how can I get a change of character? How about something? I'm not asking for a lot. How about just a higher? Maybe you got a little one there. Probably did, right? Little baby change of character right there. Oh fuck, here, let me straighten that out. Okay, little chalk, little one. Right, so he probably has this set here and not show that. Well, fuck, if I go down to a 1 hour here, let's see. Well, you can tweak it a little bit as to how much there you go, how much detail you want to see here. So there's the last break of structure is down. So at this level, here's the strong high. Okay, right. So now we can see the last high that did its job, gave us a new low, right? We don't have any contenders here for a strong low. Nothing. Okay, so maybe we got a little 5 coming out of that. Looks like you might. Okay, it's not pretty, but this is what you can, okay. All right, we don't need perfect, right? Remember, Elliott's not perfect. Don't expect it to be. Okay, that looks like a 5. Could be, right? Is there a great subdivision there? Well, fuck, no, not great, but it's definitely it's not a 3. Okay, that's a start on it. That looks like a 3, so A, B. Build, okay, getting some evidence here. Oh, right in the supply zone. Got a nice demand zone down right here. Now, if this goes higher, you might be here retooling this, thinking, oh, fuck, well, shit, maybe it's here, right? And this is all just internal, right? We don't know until the market reveals itself, right? So right now, you got to go with what's in front of you. What's in front of me? Clear 5. And I've retraced into so where do I want to buy that? Well, if I had the opportunity to buy it down here, I'd be a whole lot more interested. Now, so look, here's confluence, right? So I've got a demand zone. Now I've got a golden zone. So if this will do this for me, if right? Wait, we don't know, right? If this is the correction of this swing, then I'm anticipating that. Oh, if I get that, I don't even hesitate. Well, let me rephrase that, right? So the more conservative way, if I get down here, right, give me at least the little reaction, right? So at least I'm taking the first potential higher low. Oh, I got a 3. Okay, so now, right, remember what's coming next, right? That's the one you want. So it's just how aggressive do you want to be when you get down here? Do you want to get the 1 or do you want to get the 3? You're going to leave some on the table if you're going for the 1, but you're likely just to give at least 50. Right? Think about it, right? If the Elliott plays and you get what you want here, you're going to get a 1, right? It doesn't matter how high it goes. At some point, you're anticipating that half of it's going to be given back. Now that's the one you want. So you got to be thinking about how much. Let's say you got it right here, right? And you took it, no stop. They can't get it. The golden zone held. Now let's say you got a typical 1618 on the 3 into the 5. Okay, so right there you want to be careful here about thinking, oh, off to the moon. Not likely, not impossible, just not likely, and you're in a supply zone. So if you took this trade right here, well, it's time to start at the very least tightening up on the trailing stop, or just use the last pivot. I would put it underneath the pivot of the 4. If it comes back down, well, what am I setting up? Right? I want to see what happens here. Change of character. What do I get here? Low or high. What do I get here? Break of structure. Right now, maybe there's a supply zone down here. Right now I can be more ambitious with that target. Now I'm looking for a bigger hit because I'm trading the 3. Right, the 3 of the 3. Right now, we're just trying to see if we can get a 2 here that would play ball with us. Right, it's going to play Elliott ball. We don't know. Maybe it will. Maybe it won't. But boy, would that set up beautifully. Right, what a great setup. And then of course. What are we going to do here, right? Never let 3 pivots go without putting a set of median lines on it, ever, right? It's just foolish. Why would you not want to have that target? What do we know when we get here? I got 80% odds of getting there. Why would you not want that framing? You wouldn't if you knew about it, would you? All right, let's see. So I think we did pretty good work there on mana. I got Pedro wants algo, okay. Jesus, I think I have it because this is a trade I've been in. Fuck, where did I put it? Oh, shit, I'm not going to find it. Okay, let's just go to it. Algo. Do you have a Algo USDT? So I'm thinking your Binance, right? I don't think I'm on. I think I'm in it on Coinbase. Okay, so let me. And you wanted. Large diagonal playing out since the COVID lows. We are currently in a wave 4. All right, well, let's pull all the way back out and see how that looks. All right, so the Sonar Labs is just, as you guys know here, it's noting the main structure here. It's giving me my supply zones, right? So we're coming here, demand zone. Here's a supply zone, right? So sometimes that here, let's do this. Let's do the Elliott. Sometimes I think this is more helpful, right? Let's do the Elliott first, and then see how the supply zones fit in there. So let's. Are we in a wave 4? Are we? You're thinking wave 4, Pedro? Well, okay, interesting. Yeah, that's all right. I got it here. This is fine because you said DT or oh fuck, did I do? Well, this is. Oh, wait a second. Oh, no, that's tether. Let's do it. This is fine here. Okay, so all right, as I would with any chart at any degree, it doesn't matter. What's the first thing we're going to do? All right, where's the algo? What did it do last? Okay, so swing, we got first, we got second target. Okay, how are we doing here? 50 to the tick. Just out of curiosity, let's see how technical we were on the way up. Pretty technical, right? How do we know it's an algo? Not because of the 50s. Here, it looks like they front ran it. Oh, they could have done it here. Looks like they might have. All right, so why do I pick that pivot? Because it looks like they used it. Well, maybe not. Nope, maybe not. All right, so let's go back to this pivot. All right, I don't want to take one just because it fits. I want it to only if they used it. Okay, so here we are with this one. Let's go to this one. And here, since that looks like a completed 5. So now the question becomes, why are you thinking that the impulse is not done? So there's got to be pardon me, it would be a diag, excuse me. So it would be a diag, right? So this, trying to think and talk and teach at the same time, right? So if that's a 1, oh, okay. So you'd be thinking, well, okay, so you're stuck diag no matter what, right? So if this is, unless you don't have that as the 1. Well, let's just check a couple of things, right? So if it's going to be a good diag, right, let's take care of the purists, right? Okay, so 3 is longer than 1. Oh fuck here. 3 is longer than 1. I think in this case 5 is shorter, right? So we get a contracting, right, rather than a leading. That might be why you're thinking that. But then it wouldn't be any better. So if you thought 1, 2, 3, right, because you can see the impulse, there's a potential impulse in here, although that looks like a 3. But let's just go with the broader strokes here, right? So that looks like, oh fuck, that's all wick too. But let's go ahead with it. Go with it. All right. So if this was the 3 and this was the 1, well, you got double fucked, right? So that's right. It's a pain in the ass with Elliott, right? So you look at it and you go, God damn it, I wanted that to be. But trust me, having done this for a long time, that will force you to rethink it, and more times than not, that Elliott, right, you can thank him, will be doing you a favor, right, because it'll force you to rethink what's here, right, rather than just go, well, that's annoying, I wanted that to be the 4. All right, well, as we said, okay, let's just think about where we are on the assumption that completed a diag, right, so, and you have to respect the swing structure, right? Is this really anything other than a 5? Really, are we really calling that something other than a 5? I think the more conservative approach would be not looking for something abnormal. Let's just look for what's staring us in the face. Okay, so there's a 5. Now, is that a good 3? Well, I don't know that I would call that a great 3. What do I see? I see an impulse that's all self-contained, right? Right. When I get this kind of swing structure and it's all self-contained, that's an impulse, right? And that's not over. I wish I could do it. And how bad are we out of log? Yeah, we're fucked out of log, right? So you got to draw. You can't use the regression, which I like. But before anything else happens, I got to get out of that channel. If you're thinking long, got to get out of that. Need something significant, right? There's going to be a shitload of resistance. So first, that has to break. I think your voice is a little low. Is my voice a little low? Is there some way? Is that any better? Maybe that's better. I try and keep my mouth away from it because I'm so much slurping. Right? It's hard to talk on a mic when it's this close to your face and not slurp. I've learned. Okay, so 5. I don't think we have anything that we wouldn't call other than a 5 here, right? I mean, again, you got to respect the swing structure, right? Is that a 3? Well, if this rocketed off here, you'd probably force fit, WXY here. I love it, hate it, in Elliott, right? There are times where you've got to just adjust to what the market gives you. But that sure looks like a 5 to me. It looks like an impulse straight down. So why would you be thinking 4, no matter how you slice this, right? If it was 1, 2, 3, there's no 4 there. So definitely the answer to your question would be, at least from my perspective, the last thing I'd be thinking was 4 here. I'd be thinking completed diag, and now I've got to correct it, right? So I got an impulse down. I'm expecting this next, and then I'm expecting that, right? Then. So nothing particularly good here. I think there was some great geometry on this, if I recall as well. All right, so you got this right there. I can't make this shit up, guys. All right, so there's your 80%, right? Oh, if I recall, there was another one in here. All right, from the low, you got it as well there. And this is the one that I think missed, but you had to go to shift or modified. All right, so since we didn't get the full, we didn't quite get the extension you were looking for, which is a longer 5, right? So interesting, right? That it fails to get there, although what did get there, right? So the Elliott fails really in terms of what you'd be looking for here. What doesn't fail? Median lines. I'll say it again, right? It's the most powerful tool of all the technical analysis, anything you could put on a chart, right? But the least used of anything available in any package. Most people look at it and they go, "Oh, that's kind of a funky little, what do you call that? Avatar? Fuck, I don't know what icon, something. Oh, that's kind of cute. Oh, look at that little." They don't even touch it. Thankfully, nobody uses it. Huge advantage for us. So right there, I think you're looking at a big fat A wave. I don't know why you'd think otherwise, right? I can't see any reason to be thinking other than that, given what we've got here. Now, right, shit changes, but right now, I mean, you probably got a decent long there. I don't know how good that we are there at the end of that. Well, that's kind of gnarly, but at least you got some change of character right here, right? So you broke those highs. You didn't close above them, but change of character, I'd go wick is enough, right? So now, do you hold here? Do you get a higher low? Well, number one, that sure looks like a 3. This doesn't look like a great. Well, looks like you can get it 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yeah, that 3 is good. The 4 is good. Not ideal, right? Kind of looks like a 3. ABC doesn't look like that's a great start. So if you were in it, right, I don't know how long I'd stick around. Because you didn't, well, what we got here? Let's put this back on. Okay, so now we're back in. Okay, so here's the strong low, right? So trend is down at this, on the daily, the trend is down. Here's the last break of structure. You just had a little retrace into the supply zone here, wicks only, so it's still there, and now you've just tapped. So you're just in a box here between supply and demand. So who would you give the advantage to here? Well, this is not a great looking finish. So for a short-term scalpy kind of trade, maybe, but you didn't get what you really wanted here, which was a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. You didn't really get it. And this sure looks like a 3. So my view is, if it's not, you hear me say this a lot, we have so much to trade. Why would you take something that's not great? Now, so a lot of times people will ask me to look at something here. It means they're likely already in it. Now, if you're already in it, okay, well, so likely you're going to be long. If you're already in it, well, you're hoping for a B here. And that's not a great start to it. Oh, is there any other way we could look at this? It's not really. I don't know that I would take any new action here, but you got to be mindful of the fact if this is the A, this needs, you'd want to see this hold. It would be very, 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 very common, right? For the A to go to the 50, you're pulling a B here, and then the C comes to the golden zone. That would be incredibly common, right? I would, if I had to pick one potential path here, that would be, just a zigzag, right? It would be the most common thing to see, right? Put the algo on top of it. Right. Why would you think something else? Right. First assumption should be, 5 down, looking for a 3, zigzag. Now that's a lot to fill in, right? We fill in the blanks in our mind, right? Oh, there, I can see it perfectly. Would I be a buyer here? I don't like the price action there. It doesn't look great. Straight up, straight down. Okay, a little bounce, right? So I'd be on hold there, but this now being a technical, so demand zone end of 50, the only downside is this is, that we see that a lot actually in crypto. Swing, sideways, dump, which is not particularly accommodating to an Elliottician. Fuck, I am on a daily though. Let's go down to an hourly. What do we got here coming down? Oh, shit, you might have it there, but you see, it looks like it went 5 to 5. This looks, fuck, what do we got there? You could probably squish well, even still, it looks like that's a force fit. It looks like an A, B, C. Right, so, and then 1, 2, The 3, it looks like a 5 here. Let's take a look in there. Looks like a 5, right? So you maybe I'm going too fast here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. You might have that. 1, 2. You might have it. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. That's not a great finish. I'd probably have to go down to a 15 to dig some sort of a 5 out there, but it looks like that would be 4, 5. So you can have a little 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. A, B, pardon me, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 looks pretty good. Let's label it, right? That might fly, right? 5 will be the shortest, right? You don't have a great ABC. Let's just since we're here, let's do the whole thing. ABC, fine, but that's not a great start. Oh, A, B, C. Looks like that's got more to go. Right? Always the algo on the other side, right? You can never forget that. That's not the launch you'd want, right? You'd want to see 1, okay, 2, and now all we did was just double top. So you're kind of in a wedge here. You're stuck between these lows and these highs.
You thinking or
Yeah,
you there?
sorry. I was just checking Bitcoin. It's not falling through the floor. So, but this is not the start that you'd want. So I'd be pickier than that. I mean, okay, good, but that's not what you want. You know, this is your classic M. Right now, you come down again, okay, but something has to come out of here that looks more bullish. This just looks like chop, right? So really, what are you doing here? Just in a box. And until somebody, so it's just bulls and bears, right? So somebody has to take dominance here, right? You do have this demand zone here, right? So maybe there's a little defense there. But when you hit a demand zone, right, you want the reaction, but you don't want it to come right back into it. And then you definitely don't want this, right? The more times they pound this, the less so on the assumption there are unfilled orders in there. Well, how many times do they have to hit it before it gets filled, right? I mean, 3, maybe 3. Shit, could be. But then something has to come out of here aggressively. Right, so the algo is going to fire, right? We know that, right? You're going to have potentially the unfilled orders get picked up, and maybe you have some defense here, right? Because whoever bought it here is likely to want to defend here. Where's their target? Right there. Going to have to break the sell side, right? So not only do you have to break the sell side algo, then you got to break the supply zone, right? So that's where, if you can get a look at, whether you're looking at a footprint chart or something where you can see, does the size come in here? Because we are not the only ones who see this. When they want to break it, they bring the muscle, right? The volume has to come in there, right? To blow out all the sell side resistance that'll be here. They have to overwhelm them to get through. So I'd want to see that kind of evidence before I started putting money at risk on the long side. Even though this is a decent start, but this is your problem, right? You don't have launch status there. You just got a box. All right, what else am I doing? Okay, I got another one.
You did a hex what? Not too long ago.
I know I got a couple of members I still have to get to, but I'll do hex. Hex to the USDC. God, there's so many different.
So the one with the most is on Uniswap.
Yeah.
I'm trying to see when you did it last. You did it on May 1st, so 9 days ago.
We'll take a peek at it. Oh, shit. That's no good. Okay. Right, bad sign. Well, there we go. All right, so we got a little more volume here. Okay, well, so just for those of you that aren't familiar with this, right, so that, oh, shit, some of you guys won't know that, but if you, do we have this in our links down below where if they're interested in that? We should have the training on that. Let's go ahead and take that off. On the Sonar Labs indicator, which we've partnered with them for the SMC, the market structure stuff. All right, so what are we doing here? Do we need to be in log? Yeah, we do, right? So that's quick, not quick way to find out, right? Just look at it, right? Yeah, I got to be in log, right? Which I don't like. Right? I'll be first to tell you. Well, Okay, so as before, right? If this is, I want this all to be self-contained, right? That's just you want to start with that premise, not that this is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, right? You don't want to be thinking that, right? A good impulse, a quality impulse, a tradable impulse will be, the Elliott channeling will hold it for the most part, right? Now that's not an absolute, but ideally you want to see the impulse self-contained by the channeling. That's the impulse you want to look for to trade. Now, 1, 2, okay, that was probably your 4, 5. Okay, A, B, C. It looks like you got. Well, it looks like you got a zigzag there, right? Why would you think otherwise? And granted, it's now out of log, right? We're plenty of deep for the retracement. So keep that perspective in mind, right? Is it long enough? Are we deep enough for a wave 2? Well, you look here, you're thinking, oh, maybe not. That's the disadvantage of log. All right, distorts to your eye. I think you're probably okay right here. Right now, here's a great example, right? How would you know? All right, good example. Okay, so some sort of, oh God, that looks like a contracting diag, doesn't it? Some sort of a diag here, looks like. Not really digging too hard into it. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, the contracting diag. Jesus, can you even get that done? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Looks like you'd have to do the A here. Oh, maybe it's a WXY. Well, okay, so a couple things, right? So right off the bat, where's the algo? Looks like, well, if I go from here, I'm at a 50, and I'm getting the retrace here, so I don't like that as much as I like this. Although if I put it right here, do I get there? There's the break, so they must have used that. So here it is, but we don't get target. That's a little far for a front run, so all the way back to break. So here's, they could be getting hit on both sides. You've got a break there. Looks like you got a break there, right? So just because the algo's there doesn't mean they hit every time, right? But trust me, they don't care, because they'll get in line with it. Looks like eventually they'll get on the right side, and then they'll get 5, 6 in a row. There it is. Right? I promise you that's not random right there. How many times have I shown that? 15,000 times? And someone's going to say, oh, fuck, that's random. No, that's not random. They used this one, so let's check this one. Looks like that's wick only. Oh, looks like they got it. So we're going to have to go back one. But that sure looks like a 3, doesn't it? Okay, so you're right here. If you're a bull, what's your best case scenario? Then I'm going to get a diag. That's what you're counting on. So this better all play well, right? Does it make sense for this to be right and not do this? That makes sense. Well, this better be good, TA right here. I said to where you'd be thinking, oh, that's my 2. See, I'd be a little bit pickier about that, because this. Well, let's see. Do we get a traditional measured move here? It looks like you might. A little beyond the 100. You see, you're kind of. It's not particularly bullish. It looks like like another zigzag. 1, 2, 3. Oh fuck! You might have a little 1. It looks like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So it looks like A, B, C. This might be. I might be overcomplicating it. Let's do. I think you want to go WXY. Let's do. I think this is a better. This is a cleaner count. Y. All right, so this looking much like a B. A, B, C. All right, so you'd be thinking along these lines. A, B, coming down for the C. Now, of course, I'm putting this up here going, okay, it's not with, I'm certain that's what it is. It's, okay, well, let's look what's here. because this, I mean, if I had gotten maybe something that looked a little bit more impulsive, right? So if I'd been here and then I got something bigger here, so on the retrace here, I wasn't going to threaten the 1. I might be leaning more into a 1. Right now, that just looks like here's what that looks like. Swing, retrace to the 50, in between the 50 and the golden zone, target. So that seems like a reasonable path here. All right, so again, Your Honor, I'd like to present my case. Okay, now we're doing a couple of things, right? I'm getting a little deeper. I'm coming into an area that might make a little more sense in terms of, okay, well, I've got some structure here. Prior resistance becomes the support. Again, maybe, right? We don't know, maybe. WXY. Okay, what else can I stack on top of it? Okay, what else is there? Well, that kind of gets interesting. So now I'm getting a hot box down here. That's the way I think of it. I got a little hot box down here. All right, so if I come down here, if, right, I don't know. For all I know, this is doing that, right? I don't know. So, but if I do get this, in here, I'm coming down 3, 4, maybe I get a little triangle. I'm coming into that. Okay, well, now I have a whole lot more conviction right here than I do. Like, fuck, I don't know what's here. I don't know what's next. It's not right. I mean, as I said before, if I had, maybe there's a 5 there. Maybe I got a 2. I didn't get this. So path of least resistance looks like it's lower because we're always making the assumption here that it's a swing, it's a retrace. Now, okay, do we retrace here and hold this swing and go external? What's the context, right? Would that make sense? Does that fit on where we are on the board? Would that make sense? I think not, right? I think, I say that, now, fuck, anything could happen, but we're just dealing with probabilities. Right, and just can I solve the puzzle with these individual tools? That's a trade I would be much more interested in than trying to guess what I got there. And if it flies up here, okay, well, fuck, I don't know, shit, maybe the W's in here, and this turns into a bleeding diag. Okay, well, I know how to deal with that. What am I looking for? 3 down to a 50. I'm in. But this is, it's almost not even worth counting that, right? Whatever it is, it's something impulsive, and here's the correction. Now, when is it over? I don't think you're there yet. I don't think this is, let me rephrase that. If I'm looking at this and someone says, are you trading or not trading? I'm not trading. It's not good enough. There's too many other choices, too many other things.
I just sent you a link too. So this was analysis I did for someone in February. So if you want to click it.
Oh, yeah.
Bring it up for them to see. It basically coincides just with your target as well.
Copy
at least my first one.
Let me see if it comes up here. If I do, yeah, there it is. Oh, sweet. So which was the target?
Well, if you see macro value high, it's 0.0615 basically. Oh, yeah. And that's basically about where you're at.
Oh, right there. Yeah. Oh,
and this is back in February.
Oh, nice. Oh,
granted,
look at these. Wow, that's cool.
I had another target way down below if it was the top of the cycle, and that was all the way back to 2, I think, or 3.
Oh, very nice.
But
well, you got to come on Wednesday to understand some Monty magic because he has a different. It's thematically it's the same, as in we're looking for confluence points. We're looking for where geometry and he approaches geometry slightly differently than I do. But it's just another approach, and it's very much based on supply and demand and long-term levels that the market responds to. But you got to come back on Wednesday. Are you on tomorrow?
Yeah, I'll be there.
Yeah, so you guys got to check back on Wednesday, and you get another take on it, right? Many people look at this Elliott and they go, oh, fuck. That's too much, right? I'd rather look at something that's a little easier to accommodate. I don't have to memorize 23 different types of corrections into, complex W, sharp zigzag, sharp flat, all that. Some people just don't like that, right? So if you don't, right, we do have an alternative for you. And if there's a 5 staring you in the face, right, you're going to call it a 5. But it's just a different approach. I would encourage you guys to participate on a Wednesday if you haven't already, right? He has a huge following amongst the membership. Okay, so let me keep going here to do my thing. So are we good there? I got hex, I got flex. So I think you're on hold there. And I got to get back to a couple of members. We had 2 more.
Yeah. So next one, I think you finished with ES, which was 10. So then you got CN.
CN. CN really. Oh God, did we? Oh no, it was. I was thinking we just did this yesterday, but that was IBM. I haven't looked at Intel in a while. What's the market doing? Holy shit, market just ripped. That's good news. Hang on. That's good. Well, at least they got back to the IB. Any of you futures traders, God, I hope you pay attention to the initial balance. Those are the most important levels on the board. Okay, so here we are, Intel. Let me get over here. I'm digressing. Shit. How are we doing on time? Oh, well, I'll bet we're going to be right on time again. Got 2 days in a row. That's impossible. I have a couple of counts here, like the one where we are in the 5. This is still the 4 big fat flat. I guess, however, I guess it could happen, yeah. Anything could happen. That is our reality. Okay, so this is, I love these. So we got a 2-week. Oh, wow, look at this. Okay, so I've got it, measures out of log. Oh, let's see. So out of log? Oh, fuck. Okay. Well, we can't look at this out of log. Well, I mean, you can, but you have to do it. Like, I don't know if you guys have ever tried to do it. Right, I have, right? You got to do this. You got to come all the way back here, and you got to open the thing up and then look at it as though it wasn't, or you can't really analyze the big picture that way. It's just impossible to do, right? Then you're going, 1, 2, and where's my 3? Where's my 3? Where's my 3? Where's my 3? Right? You can't do it. You just can't do it. All right, so I can't even. Let's reset you. All right, let's get back to log. Okay, so now we can at least get some glimpse of what the hell we have here. Okay, so 1. Are you putting the 2 here? So I'm not sure I'd do it that way. I think that's your better bet here. And then this could be ABC, a running flat of the 2 at this degree, right? But let's see what we got here. Okay, so 1, 2, 3. I'm with you there. I'd probably do 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 with you. ABC, AB. Well, you got to call it something, right? So there's a 4. Giving me multiple counts here. So this, well, that's a cluster in there, isn't it? All right, I kind of like the 1 here. Well, it looks like WXY. Just brighten that up a little. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. That looks good. What do we not like here? So the question mark is, are we in a 4 here? I'd probably bring that up a little. Okay, well, so immediately my eye sees this, right? What are we doing? We're just going sideways. Right, we're just in a big range, right? So we want to identify, okay, or you could think of it this way.
Check your mic.
Here we're in the premium zone here. Now it distorts it a little bit because we're in log, right? So it doesn't look like it's halfway, but you are definitely in the premium zone. That's another pain in the ass with log. But if we just look at that range, we are definitely above the 50%. So the potential for the sale here, right? This would not be a great place to be a buyer. So just pull this across, right? So does this look like a great place to be a buyer, given the backdrop in the market? Probably not. Now that we are on a 2-week chart there. Oh, fuck. Well, let's just go all the way through it. Okay, so if this is the 1 here, and this is A, B, C into the 2, I'm going to hide that just for a second. Okay, so if that's 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, so we get a good 3. That looks like that's going to be too far past the 2618? Maybe not. Oh, I'll be goddamn. Look at that. Where is the highest probability location for a wave 3? Between the 1618 and the 175. Where do we go? So pretty good conviction that that's your wave 3 right there. 1, 2. Do we need to go that far? So let's see here. All right, so I've got my 3 in here. I don't know. That you need. Oh, do you have the? I hate that thing here. So I know you're doing that just to help me see it, but I hate that line. Okay, so is that? Let's just see here. Well, there's a 5 there, right? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, right? We can't miss that. So that looks like a. So we'd have to do a 3, 3, 5. Looks like. See, I'm not sure about the 1 here. I'm going to take that off. I think you're too soon to go to that. So the 5 is clear, is very clear here. And that looks like, fuck, is that a 90? It looks like it's pretty damn close. I'm not such a purist, but, oh, platinum. 887. Well, well, that's, what do I got? There's 90 here's on the other side of it, so it would definitely be enough there. So my thought is here, okay, let's see if we can put this together. So there's an A, B, C into a W. W, X, Y. I'd be looking for that lower. Oh, A, B, maybe. This is such a monster of a chart. Well, I can't say I love that. Well, let's we're on a 2 week. Let's go to a weekly, something something more manageable like a weekly. Oh shit! Always market's going crazy. My alerts are going off. 1, 2, A, B, C. Let's go with that. Well, if it's A, B, let's look at it. Right, if that's A and that's the B, this is 1, 2. Right, so we're looking lower. So let's go with the 1, 2. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 would make more sense, right? Now, do I know that's coming? Of course not, right? We got to, okay, let's put out a roadmap. Okay, if, right? If this is the A and that's the B, okay, well, what's the next thing I'm going to do? Right, and I say that because I want this to be the next thing you're going to do. Right, do I have the algo here? That's a pretty good front run. There's no secondary pivot to use, so it looks like we're stuck with that. Well, certainly got to target. That's a little much for the front run. And it looks like it broke here, so let's just see how we would look here. No, too far again. Well, let's just stick with what we got here. So that's kind of an ugly, whatever the fuck that is. But just basic swing structure. I don't know that that's gonna, maybe an extension in the 1. You just got to work broad swing structure here. I don't know that it matters, but let's go with 1, 2. So let's do the same thing. If this is the 1 and this is the 2, because we need to finish with a 5. Well, where do we want to put the 3? 4. Let's get all this off to the side. If we're going to go 3, 4, 5 for the C. Okay. So we can take that off. 1, 2. Well, so just because I'm consistent, right? So I'm not going to tell you to accommodate the market, right? Just to give you, different advice here. I would never sell that. Why? Because you're so vulnerable here to this. Do you think we're the only people that see that ledge there? Now, if I had to take a trade here, I much like it. You see, it's never that I'm saying you don't want to be short here. You just don't want to enter here. Well, let's look at it this way. How did it go for these guys, right, who entered here? How about the guys that entered here? How about the guys that entered here? Now here, right? How did that work out for them? Not so well. So, right, sooner, right, we're not going to go sideways forever. So one of them is going to break. So if you had to pick one, at least now you have an Elliott count here that might give you a little conviction. But where was the trade, right? You want to be short here so that you're already short going into the obvious pivot, to the obvious support. I mean, it sure is hard to see how that doesn't hold. I mean, it doesn't break, right? So we've tapped it so many fucking times, right? Sooner or later, you run out of buyers to defend, and it just breaks. But so if you wanted to be short here, you let this go, right? It's just a low probability trade, right? It kind of looks like, well, fuck, if you're ever going to take one, that's where you might do it. But you need to see the retrace come back that fails. They can't get back in, right? Think of that as like, oh, safe in here again. No, if they can't get back in, then it rolls over and that completes the 5. That's the way to approach that, right? So if anything, where do you want to try and get into that, right? If we get the 3 here, you're trying to get in on the 4. Now, if I can get in here, I got an algo at my back. Maybe I'm doing it that way. What else can I stack there? Well, if I'm going to get a traditional impulse here, and that's my 4, well, I'm going to look for either the 100 or the 1272, right? The most common targets for that 5. There's my C. There's my Y. There's my 4 at the higher degree. Let's put you there. Put you into a 4. That's probably, I don't like that one. Let's use minuet. Okay, now let's pull the whole thing back out. 1, 2, 3. That's pretty deep for a 4, but given the backdrop. Well, let's see how it would play, right? From the 2 through the 3. Holy shit, right in the golden zone. If I put it right there. Oh, let's get the platinum off of there. Oh, fuck here. There we go. Yeah, I don't even want that. Here we go. 5. No, I don't want that one. I want golden zone. Come here. M2. That'll do it. Okay, so I'd be literally from here to here. I'd be right in the golden zone. Now that's deep for a 4. That's not really where you want your 4. I might check from here as well. Now I'd be coming in at a 50. Right, if it's going to go deeper into the 4 because of this complexity up here that we had, instead of the 4 being here and then going, right, if we're going to have a deeper retracement here, well, now, okay, well, I've got some confluence here. So, and I got this funky 1, 2 anyway, right? So the 2 being up here as opposed to, you see, that's why it's a little funky here, because we're not getting a 2 like this, right? So pulling from this higher 2 is why it's deeper. Just understanding, the pivot structure here that we're pulling from. So thus pulling from the 1 through the 3 makes sense, as opposed to, well, fuck, that didn't look so good, so let's try something different. Well, if you just think about it, if that's the 2 up here, or it's very irregularly shaped, right? So we've got Abby normal here pulling from that 2, so thus pulling from the 1 makes sense. There's your pivot right there. Would I buy that? Well, not without some reaction, right? I want to see the algo react, and then I want to take that, right? And I want to get in behind that. Right, yeah, right. Same process, starts all over again. That's a tricky one. I wouldn't. Oh, here's what I would not be doing: trying to buy it right here on the idea that that's the 4, because it doesn't look like it's done. Right? You'd be saying, oh, well, we're done here. There's the C. The C is in. It kind of looks like it should be like, oh, right, but the pattern is not quite there. Again, given the backdrop, right? So where's the 10-year today? Fuck, last I saw it was pretty good, actually. So this is why we're getting a bounce. This is why we got a bounce, right? There's the 10-year. That's the 1 hour. Remember, we were talking about this yesterday, right? The market's not going to bounce until the 10-year bounces, right? So here, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Oh, change of character, larger degree change of character, break of structure, right? So that's the only reason you saw a bounce today. Now, does it hold? Well, it looks like it's trying to. If you want to watch, right, if you want to know when Bitcoin is going to turn, it's when this turns, because that'll turn the NASDAQ, and then Bitcoin will go with it, right, as it is now. But that's a good sign. Very good sign. What the hell have I got here? I think I drew that from all the other stuff. Oh, strong low, right? That break of structure. Why is that the strong low, right? Because there's the break of structure, leaving behind this demand zone. Here's a little micro demand zone. There's not much of a 2 there, is there? 1, 2. Well, I guess you could do it that way. 1, 2. That's a little bit large. 3, 4, 5. 1, 2. Well, that's going to have to get big legs if that's what we got. That sure does look like the. I don't see 1, 2, 3, 4. There's the 4 of that wave. There's the 4 of this wave. ABC down for a skinny 2. What did we do there? Did we even do a 38? 38. That's a good sign, right? That's what we needed. So yesterday, as we were looking at this, we can't touch it, right, until I get some change of trend, right? Some change of character, right? Oh, we got both of them, internal, larger, and I got a 5. Okay, good sign. All right, where was I? Back over here, Intel. All right, again, it's a green banana. Close, but I like it a lot better down here at 28, 29. Okay, so nice seeing. Thanks for posting that. Pizza Man, hey man, where you been? Pizza Man, man. Regular poster. Took a little vacay. No, you didn't. You didn't miss much. This is a massive correction. What are you thinking, Pizza Man? Gala? You going traditional on me? Traditional? No.
No, it's
Crypto.
Gaming crypto, I believe.
Oh. All right, Pizza Man. I like the look of this. This looks good. All right, what are we doing here? So we got we got our PO. So you have different colors here. So is that your POC or is that a range? Looks like that's your POC. Okay. I don't know anything about this one. WX. Well, do we need to know anything about it? No. Oh man, you got some mojo in here. Okay, so all right, I gotta decide a couple of these so I can see where I am. Okay, so that helps me a little bit, but let me just, so where is that coming into play? Right here. So this is where he's framed it with that with that channel, right? So these are the 2 pivots. So he's got it here too. So 1, 2, 3 pivots, little break here, but then he goes to median lines. It's good work. So I'm going to hide this since it's not, unless we get down here, that won't be a factor, just so I can dig in here a little bit more. Okay, so we've got so there's a shift on this one, right? So we're just down 50. We're already to and through here, so that one is a possible, that's your barrier down here. Coming in here. AB, looks like that could be technical. It is. Going towards third. Oh, how about this, right? So it looks like you got a cluster up here. So I get Pizza Man would have already done this, but I do this for the people that are still learning, right? So you understand how dominant this is. I guess we have to go to the top. Okay, so do you see it right here? Right, so there's if I'm right on it, assuming I am, we've just tagged that algo target. This one is already hit, right? So do you see how there's a series? Right, so here's this one, there's this one. Oh shit, there's probably that one too, right? Now that I think about it. Yep. All right, so they used this one, right? So that's right. So we can look here to see if they used it again. So they used this one, they used this one. Now, do we come down in a 5? Looks like that's his 1618, 17. That's mine. This is his 1618, 175. What do we know? Once we get this pivot, right, as long as that holds, we've got 80% probability of getting there. I kind of think that's better, a little fatter, right? 80% to get there, right? Sure, right? Would be very surprising if they didn't get there, right as they hit the POC. You know, I've seen stranger things, right? But it sure does look like that's the path of least resistance. Doesn't look like we're quite done in there. So he's not giving me a daily. So if I go, let's go to an 8. I get that just because they just takes up screen real estate. Oh, you have Sonar on here? You got order blocks. Okay, let's see what the order blocks come up with. Okay. AB 1, 2, 3. Well, you're definitely right there. 3 into the 4. 1, 2. Yeah, it looks like you might have to do A, B, C into the 2. 3, 4. 1, 2. Doesn't look like we're done. Oh, 1, 2, that looks pretty solid. 1, 2, let's just measure it, right? Same shit every time, right? That's the power of it. Where's the high probability zone for the 3? I can't make this stuff up, guys. Cannot make it up. Where do we go? Right to the highest probability location for the 3. Okay, 1, 2, 3, up. Reaction. Into the 4, all right? Same thing, right? Same thing we do every time, right? So where's the 4 here between the 50 and the 618? That's a little steeper for the 4 than you'd prefer. Didn't get much of a 2, 3, 4. Okay. Well, if that's going to break, we're going to know pretty quickly if we got a double bottom down here, right? Clearly a double bottom, right? Pretty good reaction. Now, if we start to go up here, well, now you're going to have to rethink the whole thing. That looks less likely because look what you'd be saving, right? And again, market can do whatever the fuck it wants, right? But this sure looks like you got one more leg down here. There is no mandatory requirement that the market finishes in a 5. It's just for a tradable pattern, that's what we're looking for. Market doesn't care what we think or what we're looking for. All right, let's dig in there a little bit more, right? Is there anything juicy here that I'm not seeing? What have I got there? Oh, that's his volume profile. I won't take that off. 1, 2, 3. I don't see any reason not to think that unless we're going to do some sort of a triangle here. So it's not completely cooked yet. It's subpar baked, right? So 1, 2, well, I would do this, right? Just to be mindful of that wave 1 pivot. Okay, 1, 2, 3, right? It got right where I'm expecting it. Could it be here? Well, it could be. 1, 2, right? You'd expect more down. We're looking for it to hit the median line. That's the target, right? So we have an obvious target down here, which we know we have a high probability to get there. So all we're looking for the market is to do exactly what we would anticipate that it would do. Come down and get the median line, right? Do it in, we talk about this a lot, right? It has to have the right look. Is that the right look? Yeah, that's the right look. Is this the right look? Not really. Not really. But this is, right? If we finish like that, right? So, and what we're after is the finish, right? So I want the last 5. It just gives you more conviction. If I get a good, clear impulse to finish the 5, then I lean in a little more heavily, right? I'd be a little more aggressive if I've got a clean finish. Here, fuck, and good luck counting that. I don't know what the fuck that is. I mean, it's impulsive. Let me rephrase that. I can see that it's impulsive, but the subdivision, there's 5 Elliotticians going to give you 5 different counts. Does it really matter? Jesus, that looks like another one. Does it really matter? Double tap at the 50-second target. All right, so there's the, see, you can work backwards, right? Here's the 3. Okay, what? So once I have this 3 and I start down, do I really care about that subdivision? Not really, because this is what I'm focused on, getting down here. Now, can I get down here and can I get a reaction and then can I get a little 3? Right? Same thing over and over and over. I think we got it. Is everybody?
Yeah, let me double check. I don't think there's any more.
Yeah, good. I think we got all the members and everybody. All right, God. All right, good day, right? I appreciate some great content, great stuff from you guys. I appreciate that. There's going to be some interesting things here. Where I think we're getting, some of this panic selling here, I'd like to think is starting to dry up, but we shall see. We shall see.
Yeah, it takes a bit for a bottom to form. I think everyone's
does, right. We're not going to get V bottoms like we did for the last 10 years anymore, right? That's long gone. But
I think the tap has dried up as far as
exactly.
Instantly buying things back. So now it takes time to form something rather than just keep pushing it.
Well, actually, it's easier to trade, right? Because now you know what to expect rather than holy shit. I mean, the V bottoms we got were just. I mean, only the Fed,
it blew you out a lot of times.
Only the Fed can do that, right? That's the only force in the markets that can do that, right? Otherwise, it takes time. All right, guys, thanks for hanging out with us. I appreciate you guys being here. All right, hopefully, and all of you guys that watch it after the fact, hopefully there's a little something I can pass along to you guys. Makes it worthwhile for you to spend time here. And maybe a setup or two that would hit your watch list, right? We always hopeful that you find something here that you might find tradable. And I always give you my opinion, right, based on what I'm seeing here. It's not financial advice, just things I've learned over the years. Okay, so don't forget tomorrow you got Monte Crypto coming in with his approach, and that's on every Wednesday. I'll be back on Friday. Interesting to see what's going on by Friday. And with that, I wish you guys a good afternoon. Thanks for your help, Monte Crypto, as always, and we'll see you guys tomorrow. Or Monte will see you tomorrow. I'll see you on Friday. Okay, guys, take it easy.